So the third option that Ann and I have spoken about is tearing this house down and doing a whole new construction. The house we live in right now is from 1926. We've owned it for a long time. We remodeled it. It would actually be a better rental than us living in it. It's actually got a mother-in-law. Our cost basis is really low on it. Our debt service is really low on it, and it would cash flow a significant amount of money that would probably help offset if we did something here. So, we'd like to get a bigger house. We've outgrown our house. Our house is probably like 2,000 square feet. The basement's 6 feet tall. I can barely stand up in it. And we only got 3 bedrooms upstairs, 1 bath, and downstairs we have another bedroom and bath, but it's hard to stand up in, like I said. So we thought, hey, let's tear this down and build something new. Lot lines matter, so lot size matters. Back when this was built in 1918, I think it was. Yeah, back when this was built in 1918, setbacks were a lot different than now in 2025. So, like I mentioned, this lot is 25 feet wide. Current setbacks require 10 feet on one side and 4 feet on the other side of the property from the property lines. And so 35 feet wide, you could build a 21-foot wide house. That is super narrow, very narrow. Actually, to deep dive those narrow houses, I actually looked up the homes that were built in the last 5 years here in Salt Lake City that had transacted in the last, I think, 9 months. And I drove by 5 or 6 homes that were all similar to that, and I found the skinniest ones. And I haven't been able to tour all of them. I've toured a few just to see how their layout was. Can you make a nice house in a 21-foot wide home? So there's one I found that's on Lincoln Street right now that's being built. And when I drove by that, I actually met the builder, the owner. She actually bought the lot with a house on it, tore it down, and she started new construction. And it from the outside, it's beautiful. On a really skinny lot, it's a pretty skinny house. She's meeting the setback guidelines, but I haven't been able to tour it yet. Hopefully she lets me tour it soon, because I'd like to obviously show you that so we can understand. And I want to understand it too, to see if I like that layout. So with new build, you have a whole new, you think about your ARV or after repair value, what can you sell a new build in this area for? So I looked at those, obviously solds, actives that are listed right now, and those can go for anywhere, and depending on square footage. So I've been running everything off of like a 3,000 square foot estimate. Those will go for anywhere between $1 million and $1.5 million, maybe, depending on the neighborhood, location, finishes, etc. The one really skinny one I mentioned that I've been trying to tour on Lincoln Street, it was listed, now it's taken off the market, but they had that listed at just under $1.6 million. And when I met the lady there on accident, when I was driving by, she told me, she's like, we're not gonna be able to sell this for 1.6, which I agree. Like, if rates were a heck of a lot lower, maybe, but it's probably like, I haven't seen it, but it's probably more of a $1.4 million house, maybe 1.5, maybe. But it does have a huge garage in back, which is cool. But so you gotta think about that. Okay, so we bought the lot for $287, construction costs, they've gone up a lot since COVID started. So I spoke to that friend who just recently built, and he did a lot of it himself. And so he did the GC himself, he did a bit of the work himself. And so he said maybe $225 a foot, which is very, very low. 3,000 square foot house, that puts your build cost, not the land acquisition, but your build cost at $675,000. So $675 plus the land cost of $287,000. So that puts your all-in number at $962,000. So if you're all in for $962,000, and if it's worth 1.4, that's a great deal, right? But like I said, this is on a slightly busier street, so could I get 1.4, really skinny, awkward lot? Probably not. Like, I'd say something here would probably sell for closer to 1.1, maybe 1.2, depending on interest rates, depending on the quality of the house. So, and that's also with him doing a lot of the work. $225 a square foot is very inexpensive. Let's put it at $300 $900,000 of square foot. So times that by 3,000 like I mentioned. So that's $900,000 build cost plus the $300,000 of land acquisition. So that puts it almost at $1.2 million. And now all of a sudden, you know, you might, not that you're gonna be underwater, but you're kind of break even on the home. I don't know if it's gonna be my forever home, but I wanna be able to make sure I'm not underwater on it when I refinance out of a construction loan. So the new build, after looking at that, kind of doesn't necessarily make sense for me.